The following is a production of Laker Student Media.
To whom it may concern. My name is Brandon Thomas. I am the current president of Laker Student Media and ready to address the LSM platform one final time. Following in the footsteps of my predecessors, I will deliver a final broadcast, but I'm going to change it up just a little bit. Instead of a traditional episode of Mercyhurst Tonight, I wrote this letter. First and foremost, I need to thank my family for always being there for me no matter what the circumstance. There's no describing what that's meant to me over the years. I also would like to thank Brian Sheridan, the chair of our communication department here at Mercyhurst, who's been great to me throughout my 4 years here. To begin with what I have to say about this place and this club, I'd like to tell a story about the first time I was in this studio, and it may surprise you. It was my junior year of high school. Mercyhurst was the first of 3 stops on a field trip for my media productions class at the time. We got shown around the comm department and eventually this TV studio where I sat on this stage, looked into that teleprompter, and read whatever script was there to perfection like I was and still am known to do. But the connection to this club that didn't even exist yet began on that day as well. Our tour guide on that March afternoon was Donnie Bryant, and a few short months after our visit, he would help create the Laker Student Media you know and love today. Donnie, there's a good chance you have no recollection of that because it was so long ago and such a small thing out of the million small things you did while you were here. But trust me, I remember. That just goes to show who Donnie was and how great the leadership of this club was. Donnie, along with Nick Wendelbo, were the 2 in charge of what went on around here, and both set great examples for me and helped me with the leadership of my members today, and I thank them both greatly for that. My first contribution to this club was a pro sports talk show, and I had the perfect co-host for the show in Jake Fitzgerald, who I had known since preschool. Everything was going great for our show and the club at large, and one night while I was helping film an episode of Movie Minute that never saw air, I got a notification that the NBA season had been postponed effective immediately, which was the first large domino to fall in the coronavirus pandemic, a 2-word combination we didn't even know existed 2 months earlier. With that, a then booming club would now be flattened to almost nothing and would stay that way for the better part of 2 years. We did what we could during the peak of COVID, but the reality was that there was just no interest to do anything. The process of rebuilding this club actually started last year when a group of us were watching auditions for our digital video production class in this studio, and someone asked the question, "Why doesn't this studio get used more often?" To which I responded, "We just needed people to make this place run." We didn't actually do anything during those couple months at the end of last year, which I'll take full responsibility for, because we definitely could have, but those couple months were huge for my confidence that we could make it work this school year. I set out 3 goals for myself and the club as a whole to achieve this year. The first was to produce quality and consistent content throughout the year. We delivered on that goal, and then some. Kate Hennessy and Lauren Roberts started the club's first consistent podcast in the fall, interviewing their fellow students, talking about their contributions to campus life, and giving them a voice to tell their stories. The next big thing was the formation of Heard It Here Hearst with Ellie Chusey and Maddie Burncheck, informing our viewers about upcoming campus happenings and along the way, creating the most episodes of a non-Mercyhurst Tonight studio show in a single year since the 2018-19 school year. We were able to get one more studio show in as well, On the Sidelines, with Kate and Tim Quinn, where they talked about all things Mercyhurst athletics and did a fantastic job. The second goal was to have fun along the way. This goal was without question achieved. My most memorable moment this year was our first meeting all the way back in September. The meeting was scheduled to start at 7 p.m. and only had 5 people in attendance at 7, and it looked like the club may have been doomed for the same fate it had suffered each of the last 2 years, until we got a text to unlock the door to the Hurt building, in which 5 more people would flood through the studio doors, then simultaneously give me all the confidence in the world that this year would be different. We had a lot of fun moments this year, including our club showcase video back in February, with the initial intentions of that video to showcase the club and what we do in it, then turned into a 5-minute blooper reel at the end of it to showcase how much fun we had in it. The final goal was to set this club up for future success, and I believe we achieved that as well. The club after I leave here needed to be left in great hands to have success beyond this year, so I selected Connor Brace as the next president of LSM, who had unwavering support from his peers to take my position. He's got what it takes to keep this place going into next year, and when it's time to hand this place off to whoever is after him, they will be ready too, because he will have them ready. A great thing about this group is that almost all of them will be back here once again next year, so they will be able to continue on what we've started to build already, and hopefully attract new club members that will fill their roles one day. I want to end this by thanking every single person that has contributed to Laker Student Media this year. Whether you have been a consistent face in most of our meetings, hosted your own show, your own podcast, contributed to productions, or even if you showed up to just one meeting and never came back. Everyone that walked through those studio doors played a significant role in where we are today, and I couldn't be more thankful for each and every one of you for allowing me the opportunity to lead you along the way. I'm so excited to see what you all come up with next. Know that I'll be watching, and I'll be your #1 fan. With love forever, Brandon Thomas.